I'm here with Alex Gibson today. We're at 52 Withington Street in Dorchester. It's a 9-unit new build. Alex is a fix and flipper, and this is his first 9-unit project. But what number project is this for you, Alex?
This is probably project 20, 22, right around there.
Gotcha. And since 2018?
Since 2018, yeah. Started off doing single family fix and flip, residential redevelopment, and then pretty quickly grew recently into these larger projects. Jumped from doing some of those smaller projects into doing this 9-unit that you see here today that Robert just introduced. So super excited about it.
Excellent, man. And how did you get this deal, Alex?
Actually, I bought this deal through somebody I was introduced to at the very beginning. I built a relationship with a couple of guys that I met through a cold call. So you never know where a relationship's going to lead. Over the course of that time period between 2018 to now, I really just nurtured that relationship again, not knowing where it might lead. Over the years, our relationship strengthened between me and those guys, and that led me to this point where when they wanted to take on a bigger project, I was able to add some value and partner up with those guys and kind of skip a few levels between doing the single family fix and flips and some smaller new construction to jumping right into a big project.
Excellent. What was the difference between how you found this deal and your first deal?
The difference between the way that I found this deal and the way that I found my first deal and the way that I found this deal was, first and foremost, this project we bought permitted, so we didn't have to take anything through permitting. It was much more reassuring, despite the fact that it was a bigger project, that in this instance I actually had partners with more experience in areas that I was deficient. So in a lot of ways it was less stressful than when I bought my first deal because I had a much stronger team around me.
Excellent. The mic up a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool, man. And then how did you fund this deal?
We actually funded this deal through a hard money lender. We raised about $500,000 to $600,000 of private capital, which I was largely responsible for raising. But the majority of the money came through a hard money lender. So it's been very important that we complete the construction and get these things to market quickly, which we've been able to do. We're about 9-10 months in, and we're on to the finish stages.
I love it, Alex. And so you said you raised $500 to $600 for this one. Now, take us back to your very first flip. Did you fund that out of pocket? Was it friends and family? Did you have some money saved? How did you do your first one?
So when I first got started in real estate, I was a little bit apprehensive to get into the higher price point homes. So I was living in Boston at the time, but I'd previously worked in an area just outside of Worcester. So I started to explore those areas around there, Oxford, Auburn. I ended up finding a property in a town called Dudley, Massachusetts, with a purchase price of $112,000. So I was able to fund that project with the money of friends and family. Started small, it was a ranch. The renovation was fairly straightforward, which was worked for me, since at the beginning I really didn't have too much construction knowledge. My confidence grew from there, and I continued to step up into larger projects.
So excellent, man. I know you're big on relationships, and obviously you've come a long way being able to manage a project like this. What would you say the key to success for yourself or anyone getting started in the business would be to manage a project?
I'd say the key to success for managing a project, going back to relationships, build relationships with the right mentors and build relationships with the right contractors as well. It can be difficult to find contractors that you can truly trust and rely on for accurate information and good feedback. But when you do find those people, make sure you really spend the time and invest in building that relationship and nurturing it over the years. Furthermore, just pay attention. When you're driving around, when you see other projects sell in various areas, pay attention to the prices of what somebody bought something for, what it ultimately sold for, and really be able to understand your numbers by backing into prices that way as well.
Excellent, man. And then what do you think gave you the confidence, Alex, to go from singles and 2s and 3s to jump into 9 units? Was it all the work you did before, or what do you think the key for you to make that leap was?
Yeah, Robert, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head insofar as all the work that I did before. I'm the kind of person that's visual, and I really need to see something done firsthand with my own eyes before I have the confidence to step up into something larger. So just kind of gradually built it up, whether I knew I was doing it this way at the time or not. But really just continue to build off of the knowledge that I had and gradually grow the business by stepping up into larger projects without really skipping too many levels in between. That was up until I found the right partnership after I'd been in the business several years, and I already had a strong support system around me that I was able to skip a couple levels by jumping up into a 9-unit project.
Nice, man. This will be the last question because I know I put you on the spot today. So as far as self-education or learning on the job, what would you say are the keys for your knowledge base? What would the keys be to learn the game and kind of, or better yet, what are you doing daily now to continue to learn more and grow your business? Are you mentoring? Are you in networking groups? Like, how do you stay sharp and how do you stay ahead of the curve? Because there's a lot of cool features in here that a lot of guys who aren't in the game these days, never even heard of.
Well, I think it's always important to be paying attention. When I was first starting out, one of the best ways for you to learn is to self-manage some of these smaller projects. Now, when you get your first project, you might not be comfortable self-managing, but if you continue to do smaller projects, single families, maybe fluff and buffs, think about maybe managing some of those projects yourself so you can understand all the intricacies of the job, all the components and all the things that go into it, and also how to manage contractors, all the frustrations that a project manager is going to have to deal with. And then from there, as I've developed and grown, I've invested in mentorship as well. So I'm a part of several local groups with people more experienced than me, where I'm able to network and observe conversations and other things going on around me, so that I know when I step up into larger opportunities, I'll have a knowledge base and the support system around me to help me complete projects even larger than this one.
Excellent. So this is the final question. What advice would you give to a young flipper who's thinking about getting into the business or developer and they're just kind of stuck? They just a little nervous and I just don't know where to begin. What advice would you give someone to kind of just get over that hump and kind of take that first step?
I would advise them to take action and to put in the reps. So go out, look at properties, submit offers, and just do whatever you feel comfortable with at the beginning, but make sure you're taking action towards where you want to go. By doing this, you're going to develop the intuition to recognize when you come across an opportunity that makes sense based on your comfort level at the time.
Excellent, man. Appreciate your time. It's awesome. Can't wait to have you on for a full episode.
Thanks, Robert.